Today we're taking a look at Buick's 2020 Enclave Essence, the mid-tier trim level version of Buick's 7-seater 3-row SUV, slotting between the preferred and premium models, though all three of those are going to sit below the top tier Avenir model. But I think the one we're in today is sort of the sweet spot in the lineup, so let's pull over and see what we're working with. Now, the Enclave's design is safe and non-threatening. It's kind of got a Mazda CX-9 meets Ford Edge thing going on, much in the same way that most vehicles in this class look pretty much the same, though the front end has been updated for the 2020 model year. But what I want to talk about is the cabin, which is very spacious, as you can see, thanks to the large body around it, but it also features very premium materials on the dashboard. Now, I wouldn't call this car luxurious, but premium definitely feels like a good word for it. We've got leather here on the top of the dash, some faux wood and plastic, which for what it's worth, look and feel pretty good. And in the middle of the dashboard, we've got an infotainment system that we've got a whole separate video on that you can check out to find out how good it is. Spoiler alert, it's really good. Now, the Essence model that we're in right now steps up to leather seats for the first and second row. And that second row is going to use captain's chairs, which is really good for adults because not only do you get more shoulder room, you also get the ability to individually adjust them for more leg room here or on the third row. Now, the third row is interesting because getting access to it's a little bit tricky, partially because Buick decided to only put this lift and slide seat on the passenger side. The driver's seat doesn't do this, so if you're loading up kids, this is the side you're going to want to do it on. Now, this second row also poses an interesting conundrum when it comes time to load this thing up with cargo. When you've got the third row folded flat, now you've got to worry about things sliding forward in the space between them, but that's a problem for another day. While we're back here, you definitely want to check out how spacious it is. It's among the best in its class, and I definitely like this underfloor cargo area for hiding things away, leaving you with a flat loading floor for your groceries. Now, being safety oriented means that you definitely want some safety features on your Enclave, and they are available, but they're hidden behind a paywall. For example, the Essence here features forward collision warning, blind spot monitoring, and rear cross traffic alerts. But if you want advanced features like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, or forward collision braking assist, you're going to have to step up to the top tier Avenir model with a $2,000 tech package on top of that, which kind of pushes the limits of what I feel is a good value for this ride. Now, on the bright side with safety tech, the rear view camera is really sharp and high definition, an area where most automakers skimp and go with something a little bit cheaper and lower quality. Here, it looks really good. It's got bright, vibrant graphics that are not just good to look at, but are also makes it really easy for checking out details when you're backing up. Let's hit the road. Now, save performance for the end because frankly it doesn't seem like it's a huge priority with Buick and the Enclave. Under the hood, we've got a 3.6 liter V6 engine that makes 310 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque, which it puts through a 9-speed automatic transmission on its way to the front wheels or an optional all-wheel drive system like we've got today. Now, 310 horsepower may sound like a lot, but in reality it's kind of just exactly the right amount of power for a vehicle of this size. You know how some powertrains feel effortless in their acceleration? Well, this one's not one of those. It feels like it's earning its pay every single time you get behind the wheel, which would be endearing, but it's also sometimes a little bit out of character with Buick's quiet tuning for the rest of this vehicle when you catch it sort of straining and wheezing to get up a hill. Now, speaking of that quiet tuning, the suspension is set up to be very soft, which means that you got a really controlled and comfortable ride over bumps and undulations in the road. But at the same time, they've also managed to some kind of a way keep a lot of the slop out of the suspension when you need to actually toss this thing around a corner, though. I wouldn't do a whole lot of tossing because this is a big, heavy vehicle, and at the end of the day, handling is still not its forte, so maybe a more relaxed driving style will do you better. Overall, the Buick Enclave is kind of alright. It's a pretty good value, but not the best value in its class. Starting at around $42,000 for the base model, the one that we're in now, the Essence with options, is around $50K, and if you check all the boxes with the Avenir, you're looking at around a $60,000 SUV. When you consider that this slots in above vehicles like Subaru's Ascent and Mazda CX-9 at around the mid to high 30s, and below true luxury vehicles like Lincoln's Aviators or the Germans, it's a lot of money to sort of consider, and I think it's a little bit of an odd bird, but if you find yourself behind the wheel of them, I think you'll be pretty comfortable.